I'm Jessica.
I'm Kendall.
I'm Jess. And our project is
Slacklining!
Hey guys, here's what you need. A slackline, 2 trees that are about 15 to 20 feet apart. The height of the slackline should be slightly above the knee length. Make sure it's not too high, otherwise there's a high possibility that you can injure your male components. To record our data, we use a camera, a stopwatch to record time, and an Excel spreadsheet. It's best to be barefoot to maximize grip. We tried walking with our shoes, but noticed that it was a little slippery. For each week, we did our experiment outdoors. So this is where we began balancing, and then this was the middle of the slack line, about 119 inches, and then this was the end of the slack line, about 238 inches. Walking across the entire slack line was our goal.
For the first week, we focused on balancing on the slack line. This was a difficult skill because it deals with the coordination and stabilization of one's body mid-air, all the while balancing on a 1.5 inch of webbing. Here, a few tips to properly balance on a slack line. Keep your eyes focused straight ahead, your core tight, slightly flex knees, using your arms to counterbalance, and it'd be helpful to grip the slack line with your feet. All the while, try not to fall. Here are a few clips of each participant and their balancing days. As you can see, the struggle is real.
Every day, each participant had 5 attempts. 5 attempts were noted as 1 trial. There were a total of 3 trials per person. Trial 1 represented acquisition, Trial 2 represented retention, and Trial 3 represented transfer. Between Trial 1 and 2, there was a 5-minute retention interval, and between Trial 2 and 3, there was a longer retention interval of 10 minutes. At the end of each trial, we recorded our data in a spreadsheet. Then we graphed our data to represent the progress. This graph shows how long we balanced for. As you can see, we balanced for about 1 second during our first trial. But by our third trial, our balancing time increased to about 2 seconds. As we practiced throughout the week, our times increased. When we began, we were able to balance for about 3 seconds. Then our times increased to about 6 seconds by our third trial. Overall, our times increased while balancing by our third day. 1, 2, 3, and go.
For the second week, our main goal was to walk halfway. In order to do this, the same technique and form were applied by looking straight ahead, keeping the core tight, and bending the knees slightly. If you're just starting and don't have any prior experience, it will be ideal to find a partner who can provide you with his or her shoulder or hand as you take short steps just to get the feel of the slack line. However, don't depend on your partner too much. Also, remember to relax and breathe deeply and calmly. The most important element to note when trying to walk on a slackline is to walk slowly while consistently staying focused. Use your arms to counterbalance, especially when taking a step forward. This can be very helpful because as you take a step, you're technically only standing on one foot, so by using your arms as a counterbalance, this can keep your center of weight stabilized, which can prevent you from falling. If you fall, don't feel discouraged. Slacklining takes a lot of patience, perseverance, and concentration. As they say, practice makes perfect.
This is a graph representing the data collected on our first day of walking the slackline. At first, our distance averaged about 60 inches and then it decreased to about 50 inches. However, by our third day, our distance increased to about 70 inches. As you can see, our distances increased by the third day of walking across the slackline.
Yeah, just do it. Someone ate shit today.
The third week had a similar approach as the first and second week. Our goal was to walk the entire slackline. Even though we experienced challenges and difficulties along the way, we managed to compose ourselves by keeping the proper technique and form. Towards the end of the week, we tried practicing at different starting points of the slackline. We tried this method by getting on the middle section of the line first, by using one foot as we found our balance. Keep in mind that it is really important to move slowly. Remember to keep your focus straight ahead and use your arms as counterbalance. Smaller moves are more precise. Once you master these movements, you'll be able to slackline in no time. On our final week of slacklining, our values show that we progressed from the first time we attempted slacklining. On the first day, we averaged about 75 inches. And on the third day, we also averaged about 75 inches. From our data, we can determine that as we practice ART, our distances increased from an average of 60 inches to about 75 inches.
One eternity later.